Hi there. We are looking at a sentence correction question from MasterGMAT. And of course, as usual, if you want to try it, you can pause the recording and unpause it when you are ready. And for those of you who want to try it, go ahead and pause the recording now. Okay, welcome back to those who tried it. We're going to go over the explanations right now. Hopefully you got this question right. Now, what do we do? First step in a sentence correction in our work order is basically to look for between 0 and 2 errors. Now, do we see any errors right away? Well, we're lucky enough in this case to see right away that irritate and cause are plural verbs. We have to ask ourselves, is the tense correct? Sure, no reason to actually go with another tense. We're just talking generally about something in the present. Present simple is fine. However, what do we need to look for when we have verbs that doesn't involve tenses? It's of course subject-verb agreement. Now there are various kinds of subject-verb agreement errors or error types or tricks, traps, and one of them is the X of Y subject. The subject, take a look at this, an abundance of sensory stimuli. Now stimuli is plural, however abundance is singular. In an X of Y or X in Y subject, it's always the X part, in this case an abundance, which is the subject, not the Y part, not the stimuli. That's a little bit of a trap. So obviously we could get rid of anything that has that same error. We get rid of A, and of course we get rid of D, which is also in the plural. We need singulars, and as you can see, B, C, and E are all in the singular. Now, if you've actually looked at the rest of the answer choices, which is our next step really, to look at grammatical mistakes in the rest of the answer choices, you'll notice you don't really see any. Now, all the verbs are fine, all the agreements are fine, the clauses are fine. So what do you do in that case? Well, you actually look for the little differences among them. Now, one of the major differences is, take a look at the end, to provide them for versus to provide them with and provide them with. Well, obviously here we're talking about prepositions, provide for, provide with. And what would be the correct preposition? This is what we call an idiom. Now, let's just click on this. Of course, we get our wonderful time awareness tool. It makes us super aware of how long it takes us for each question. Click on the OK. Now, we did correct the original mistake as we saw. However, the correct idiom with provide is to provide someone with something or to provide for someone. Okay, so we have to be careful with idioms a little bit. Therefore, we can eliminate this answer choice, of course, as usual at MasterGMAT as opposed to any other kind of learning method. This is why we get you through things quickly and efficiently. You get to try again. The learning is always there. Okay, we don't just spoon feed you answers. Major difference. Now, we're left basically with C and E. Now we know that provide them with is the same in both of them. The correct idiom is to provide them with, indeed, as is the original sentence. What else is different between C and E? Well, if you actually pay attention to the beginning, it says causes distress and irritation to an infant versus irritates and causes distress for an infant. Again, to cause something for, well, specifically to cause distress for versus to cause distress to. Now the correct idiom is to cause distress to, not to cause distress for. Click on that. That is indeed the correct idiom. You have to be really careful with idioms because people take things for granted with idioms. It's often hard to spot those kind of errors. Now, of course, if you ever needed it, you can go to the summary and see the actual lesson summaries, the relevant lesson summaries, and of course the little idiom lesson. We also have, of course, a nice little list on our site of the idioms. So you can always revisit those summaries. No need for note-taking. We go back over here. You can always also check out the rest of the answer choices. Kind of cool. Okay, so that's how we attack little idioms. We look for those little differences in prepositions. That's usually a good indication or red flag or stop sign, as we call it at MasterGMAT, that you need to pay attention to your idioms. And there are quite a few idioms in the GMAT. You just need to pay attention to them. Okay, until next time, see you.